So what makes or breaks a good UGC ad? Look, if you're getting into the TikTok game or if you're just starting to work with creators, you want to make sure that you get the best bang out of your buck, that you're not getting scammed and getting the best content as possible from your creators. So in today's video, I want to talk about 5 things that can make or break your UGC ads and how can you make sure that you get the best results as possible with your organic and your paid advertising reach from your UGC pieces of content. So the first and most important thing is the creator itself. Look, there are creators that will resonate with your audience and there are creators that won't. First of all, you always want to make sure that you choose a creator that fits within your demographic. So if you're actually selling and most of your customers, you find that they're a woman within, 30 to 40 year olds and they're actually African-American woman within the state of New York, as an example, then you want to make sure that you pick creators that actually fit this type of demographic. You don't want to pick an 18-year-old from Romania as an example to actually shoot your ads, right? So that's the first thing. But that aside, there are going to be creators even within your demographic that won't necessarily resonate with your audience. Some of them, it's just their tone. Some it might just be the looks. For some, it just might be the way they resonate again with the audience. They might just speak their language better. So you're always going to want to take a look at your creators first. So I always recommend that you start with a batch of about 3 to 5 creators for you to test with. Again, you give them a very similar brief, so they all have the same brief. You basically upload all these pieces of content as to ads, and then you see which ones perform best, and from there you double down on the creators that get you the best results. If you don't get anything concluded within your first wave of tests, you might have to send them again other briefs to the same creators, because look, chances are out of 5 creators, there's at least going to be one. If you did your due diligence before actually hiring these creators, there's going to be at least one that will resonate with your brand. So make sure that if the ads don't perform in the first wave, you just send them all out a second brief and then give it a second go until you find, again, this creator that will just stand out. The second tip I have for you is the hook. So the hook is the first 1 to 3 second part of your TikToks. This is what grabs the viewer's attention and also what keeps them to watch the remaining part of the video and gets the core of the information. But it's basically what could be referred to as clickbait on YouTube. What gets people to click on a video? Well, on TikTok is what gets people to actually stay and watch the entirety of your video. I highly recommend you go and check out Michael Sanchez on Twitter, because he's selling actually, I think for very cheap, it's something like $7 or $9, a 300 intro hooks swipe file for to use. And basically that gives you over 300 ideas of hooks that you can use to start your video strong on TikTok. The third thing is actually going to be length and pacing. So sometimes different length of video is actually going to perform better. So for some brands, very short videos, so something like 7 seconds might work the best. There was a case a couple of weeks ago where the algorithm was pushing these videos a little better, because that's also the thing, right? The algorithm is also going to evolve over time. There might be period of times where the algorithm is going to play in your favor with specific pacing of videos, whereas in other times it might be different. And it's also all dependent on your brand style. So make sure that you also test different pacing of a similar video. So if you get a UGC piece of content, again, I highly encourage that you extend the life of that singular piece of content and that you make more than one variation out of that same UGC piece. So you could have, as an example, an influencer sending you the raw footage from their UGC piece of content. You can make it into a 15-second video, you can make it into 30-second, and maybe a very short 6-second video, right? So you can edit it and play with it all that you want to make sure that you test different durations of that similar piece of content. The fourth thing that you should take a look at is your audio. So that's going to be the sound that you use. It's also going to be if you use a background music. If so, what type of background music that you use? Is this just sound and no voice? If there's a voice, is it text to speech or is it actually somebody speaking? If it's somebody speaking, is this a man, a woman? What type of woman who's speaking, what type of man, etc. So there's a lot of stuff also to test on the audio side of things. So I've just named a couple of those, so you want to make sure that you get through all of them. Again, text to speech is actually a great way for you to make ads without needing to reach back out to creators. So again, I keep saying it, but I'm a big fan and I advocate to make the most out of a single piece of content. So you can have one variation of that singular piece of content where the influencer is actually doing the voiceover. You could actually also remove that voiceover that she or he did, and you can actually have a text to speech on top of it. So instead you could have an automated robotic voice to do that. And guess what? TikTok offers you a bunch of different styles of that same robotic voice that you can use. Plus, there's a bunch of other apps and websites out there that allow you to have these other and different tonality when it comes to a text-to-speech voice. So Test this out, add some background sounds, add some different background music, just put no voiceover, only music, and again, test your audio. The fifth and last thing that you should take a look at is your call to action. So whatever you actually say and want your user to do at the end of the video. So if somebody stayed all the way through, chances are they're interested into your brand, or at least curious to learn more about what you do. So you can also play with different type of call to action. So if you ultimately want to sell, then there's a bunch of different call to action that you can have. It doesn't necessarily need to be buy now. It could also be get 10% off with code, X. It could also be hop on our website today. It could also be click on the link in the bio. There's a bunch of different variations of the same goal. Again, assuming you want to have a purchase action at the end, then there's at least 12 different variations that I can think of right now. I just named about 3 or 4 of them. And if you're doing reach or awareness, again, there's a bunch of different more, like follow your account, leave a like, comment down below. Go and check out X playlist in my bio. Again, a bunch of different things that you can do on that front. But call to action is indeed very important, because this is what will direct your traffic once you've actually piqued their interest with the video. If you've noticed, all the tips that I mentioned in today's video are actually in order of importance. So the first one being the creator, because this pretty much dictates the whole scheme, angle, and feel of your video. Then the hook, because this is what keeps people in the video. All the other tips like the length and the sounds is what will retain somebody throughout the video. And the call to action is what will push somebody to take action once your video is over. If you've done all of those right, if you've tested all of these variables separately and tested them against each other, you should come out of that with a very high performing piece of UGC. Now, if you're a store owner or e-commerce brand watching this video and you're making at least $20,000 to $30,000 a month with your brand, I invite you to click on the link in the description down below and book in a very short demo call with our team. On that call, we'll take a look at your brand, see if we're good fits, and we'll help you scale through automated UGC systems, TikTok ads, and omni-channel marketing. If not, worst comes to worst, we'll just leave you with a free action plan to implement on your own. On that note, make sure you check out other videos on the channel for some more useful e-commerce marketing tips, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.